My name is Maria from the Cruise Experts. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to give you some tips that you should consider 14 days before your cruise. Yes, 14 days before already. You're so excited, you're ready to go. Well, I have some tips here for you to be doing right now, 14 days before your cruise, that will help guarantee that you have an excellent cruise and that everything is going to be smooth and you're not going to miss anything at all. So here we go. I have at least 14 tips that I have come out and things that I remember to do just before our cruise. So the first one I'm going to remind you is this is time to check your documents. Yes, you may have think that your passport is not expiring, and if you have not checked that, it may well be expiring. You have to have a valid passport for 3 months at least validity before the end of your cruise or the end of your trip itself. So this is a moment to check your passport. Make sure it's valid. Make sure it's not broken, of course, because if you have to expedite your passport, it's going to cost a nice penny. Anyhow, the next thing you can also check is your birth certificate and ID. If you're taking a cruise, let's say to the Bahamas, and you can just use your driver's license and your birth certificate, this last one needs to be certified, needs to be with a stamp. It cannot be just a copy. A copy is not accepted. Another tip to do is take a copy of these documents with you. You can leave it in the safe on board the ship in case of an emergency. You went on land and you lost them. You can also take a photograph with your phone. Your phone takes photographs all the time. Take a photograph of that passport, of your ID, or that birth certificate, whichever documents you use to register and to check in for your cruise line. Take a picture of that just in case of an emergency. It really will save you a big headache. And cruise lines may definitely accept that. If in case of an emergency, they can use that and they will accept that because you might have been assaulted or whatever, or you lost it, you left it with the tour bus and you totally forgot. And now you're gone from that port and you cannot recover that. So that is very important to do. Just check all your documents for validity and have the original ones. Of course, you go with the original passport anyway, right? So you go with the original birth certificate. Number 2, this is the time to inspect your luggage. Sometimes we think the luggage is fine for the next trip, but it's been so long since we traveled before, that you may not even notice that zipper is not working. Also check your TSA locks, those padlocks for the TSA. If you use those, make sure they work. Otherwise, you have to buy a new one. Because as you know, in the airport, they can open your luggage if they think there's something there suspicious. They will open it. So you have to have a TSA lock. And if you have a brand new luggage that does have a TSA lock, well, you're fine. But make sure you check your luggage. Also, your bags. If you're going to take a personal backpack, make sure that it's not, broken or tear or whatever. That would be the best thing. Just make sure it's, it's still good to go. Otherwise, you just go and buy one in Marshall's or Ross or order one in Amazon. So make sure they're in good conditions and they will sustain this trip. Number 3, this is the time to buy your toiletries. If you're going to buy, small deodorant, small shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, head gel, cream, for shaving, or toothpaste, even an extra toothbrush that you want to take just for travel. You can buy them right now. You can buy at a $1.25 store, Dollar Tree. You can buy them on Target. Walmart has a huge, great, big selection. Now, if you're very particular which brand you use, or you're allergic to any kind of ingredients, you can buy a kit at the dollar store for $1.25 that has those TSA size, and you can fill that out with your shampoo, your body cream, your conditioner. You can buy them also in Amazon. And then you don't have to buy the toiletries, but you will have those that you will fill out with your own personal selection. Now, every cruise line now, they do have, a combination of shampoo and conditioner, and they have, shower gel that you can use. If you don't want to carry that, if you're not allergic to any of that, that's fine also. Then you save some space in your luggage for that. But this is the time to go and buy your toiletries. Number 4, if you're going to use any formal clothing or would like to have your pants pressed, especially your husband's slacks, take them now to your nearby dry cleaning service, and that way you will have them by next week ready to go, and you don't have to iron if you like your clothing iron. Otherwise, take some sprays, those downy sprays that they can take wrinkles out. So this is the time to do that. Take them to the dry cleaner, have them ready to go. This is the time to go also through, when you started all this planning, you made a really big list of things to do. Yeah, that to-do list, this is the time to check it out. Make sure you can mark every one of the things that you're supposed to do by this time, and then you're not missing anything. The next thing is that at the same time, you may add some extra things that you may want to take hangers. You may like to take a non-surge, power strip. That's the only one that they accept in the cruise line. So you can add to that list. You can cross things you think that you're not going to need, and make the check mark on those that you already have. That way you know what you're missing. The next thing is, number 6 will be, this is time to confirm your reservations. Airplane, hotel, transportation from the airport to the pier, or from the airport to the hotel. This is the time to make those confirmations. At the same time, I also recommend that if you're going to take an Uber from your town, from your house to the airport, you can make a reservation in Uber with plenty of time so the Uber can pick you up. Now, if you are using your own car, you need to make a reservation, to a nearby place where you're going to leave your car. Or if you're going to leave in the airport, that's okay. I don't know if you need to do a reservation in your airport, but if you need to, this is the time to do that as well. Also, make the reservations for your pets. If you have a pet that you're not going to leave with a friend, a significant other, or a family member, make those boarding reservations for your pet as well, because a lot of people go on vacation at the same time, and you may not have a space for your pet in that place. You can also verify if there's transportation that you can take, or which kind of transportation you can take from your airport to the hotel. For example, in Vancouver, Canada, you can take a train all the way to downtown, where are plenty of hotels, and they are all pretty close to the pier. So you may have to take a taxi after that, but you can take the train at a really least expensive way. But if you're 4 or 5 in your party, and it's going to come out to more than just taking an Uber or a regular taxi, then do so. But check that out on their website and see how much it's going to cost you, what is going to be cost effective for you. Personally, when I went to Paris with my family, we made a reservation on Aviator for a car to pick us, a private car to pick us up. And that's exactly what we did, and it was very reasonable. And we liked that option because that way we didn't have to go on a mass at a big bus with a lot of people and a lot of luggage. So it was worth the penny for us, okay? So this is the time. Also check, do your check-in. If you haven't downloaded that application for Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Princess, do that now and do your check-in. By doing your check-in, you're going to provide your documents. Make sure you have your passport handy, your vaccination card, and put all your information in that check-in. That way you're going to be able to print those C passes and take it in person by paper. Don't take it just in your phone. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is not the best one at the pier, so it's better to have all these documents printed out. I always do. I even make a binder with all my documents. Print the C-Pass, print that luggage tag. Now, I bought a little plastic for my luggage tag on Amazon, and I use it in every cruise that I go, and I put my luggage tag in there with my cabin number, etc. Now, don't put that in your luggage when you're just going to the airport. Put it in your backpack that you're carrying with you. Then once you're really going to the port, then put those tags on your luggage. Because if you put it beforehand when they're going to the airport, they may break. And then now you don't have a luggage tag for your cabin. Do that later. But please do the check-in, check the restaurant. There's a lot of things you can check in the application, from your cruise. And talking about that, the next thing, number 8, you can still buy your drink package if that's what you want to do. You can buy a drink package, you can buy water bottles, and there will be at your cabin when you arrive. You can buy a coffee cart for specialty coffees. Buy decoration if you want to have your cabin decorate. You want to surprise your husband or your son with a happy birthday motif. You can ask them, but you have to pay for it. So you have to do a reservation on that. You have to pay for it first, and then we'll decorate your cabin. And when you arrive to your cabin, it's all decorated. Yes, that's what it's going to be, all decorated. If you want to do a gift, Royal Caribbean has a gift website where you can buy. You can buy things. The gift, a robe, a chocolate with strawberries, a bottle of champagne. Let's say you're traveling with your parents or your sister. You want to surprise them. You can buy a gift for them, and you provide their cabin number, and it will be there, and they will be pleasantly surprised. You can buy gift cards for Royal Caribbean. They're called really gift certificates. So you buy the gift certificate on the website, and you indicate for whom it is, for which cabin it is, and when they arrive, they have a paper that said you have a $25 gift card that can be used on board for wherever they want. And that is a beautiful and excellent idea to surprise your family. So this is the time to do that. Now, when it comes to decoration, you can also buy decorations on land, bring it on board, and I have done that, and decorate the cabin as soon as it's open. Yeah, you can do that. As soon as that cabin is open, you can go and decorate the cabin yourself. Now, one point here is do not take tape. They do not like when people put tape, in the walls of the cabin, and the walls of the cabins are metal. So buy a lot of magnetic, little magnetics like that, and use those for your decoration. And to hang stuff, buy hooks, and you can hang your, bags as well. But that's what you're going to use. You can even decorate your door. I have seen people that travel like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and they decorate their door. Also, you can just put your door with, whatever you want. Oh, here are the fun people, the fun guys, And you may identify your door cabin faster too. You might get lost, come drunk, or whatever, you're tired, and or you send your kid to go to your cabin and they don't even remember which one is because all the doors are the same. Well, guess what? If your door is decorated, you're not gonna miss it. That's a cool stuff that you can do. Decorate your cabin, and you can bring your own decoration. Save money on that. Now, the 9 options recommendation here. Verify your company, your cellular company. Check with them. How is the service, and how is your, package works on these other places. You may buy an international package just because you're taking an international cruise and you want to be able to call. When it's Canada and United States, it's fairly easy. Most of these, packages that you pay for with your cellular phone, they do include Canada. Sometimes they include Mexico, Puerto Rico, and you don't have to buy anything, but you will have to call from there. But remember, you cannot call from the cruise just through your cellular phone because you're going to pay a pretty penny. And on that note, you can buy a Wi-Fi package and streaming package. And I heard that, for example, Verizon, you can make some phone calls through the web, through the website. So maybe that's an option. But call them. They may have a special that you can pay $10 for 24 hours, and you can call from any island that you are in it. And, you can pay that amount. You can make phone calls back to land, back to your home. And you're just going to pay that fee. But it's important to check, unless you call them and check, hey, how does it work? I'm going to Colombia, I'm going to Peru, I'm going to Italy. How does it work? Can I just pay extra or join a different rate so I can call from those places? Otherwise, if you have your Wi-Fi on board and you're streaming, you can use WhatsApp. As you know, that works really with the Wi-Fi. And you can still keep communicated with other people on land. So that's a very good time to do that, to be sure exactly what you have with your cell company. Number 10, this is the time to set aside those gratuities if you have not prepaid them. You still can prepay them. You still can go to your reservation. You still can call your cruise line and say, I want to prepay the gratuities. That way, at the end, you do not have to remember to set aside that money. But if you want to do it, set it aside. You can set it aside in cash and take it with you. They're going to charge you every day in your account for those gratuities. And at the end of the day, you either pay them with your credit card, or you just pay them off in cash. Go to the help desk and do that, or you can prepay them. Now, nowadays it's tricky to prepay, my opinion, because you may prepay them and your trip may be interrupted. And then how do you get that money back for those days that you did not enjoy on that cruise? I always wait until the end. I know they have great service. I always have great service in the cruise lines. But what if something happens and unfortunately you do not have a good service, you do not have a good experience there? Now your money is already prepaid. How do you get it back? That will be an act of Congress, believe me. The next thing also, make sure you have your travel insurance. You haven't paid in travel insurance? Please do so. You know how much money you're going to save if something urgent happens? It's like your car insurance. You pay car insurance in case an accident happens, and it saves you a lot of money in case something do happen. Now, if you want to purchase the insurance from the cruise, you still can do so as well. Now, it only covers you for the cruise, I guess cruise delays, medical on board, but it doesn't cover if your luggage doesn't arrive, if your airplane is delayed, unless it's really also booked with them. So your travel insurance will cover you for those big emergencies. You have to be transported, by a helicopter. If you have a sudden appendicitis, now you have to be living and staying in that port of call, and you have a sudden surgery. You know how much it's going to cost you? A lot. That's why travel insurance I don't understand why people don't spend $160, $174 for me and my family, and we're 3. And you can spend thousands of dollars in that cruise. Why not spend a little more just on that travel insurance that may save you a headache? Believe me. Check the websites. I checked out Nurse Nancy had an accident on a skate rink in Royal Caribbean Cruise, and she ended up in the infirmary. Yeah, some other people end up with thousands of dollars because of the type of injury they had on board, or even on land. You went to the tour and all of a sudden you step wrong, and now you have an ankle that's fractured. Ew. Yeah, big deal. That's gonna happen. Hopefully not, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Don't you think? The next thing is, number 11 is very important. Postpone your mail, especially if you have a box in front of your house. That will be a signal, if the mail starts falling, it's too much mail in your box, and people don't see that you're picking it up. It's a flag for everybody to know you're not home. I like to postpone it, and then when I come back, I just pick it up from either the post office, or I tell them return this on this date. So when I come, all my mail is in my box. That's one thing. If you still receive a newspaper, also postpone that, because the newspapers start accumulating in front of your door and everybody's going to know that you're not in your house. That's a very good tip there. Also, if you are expecting any package, don't order anything right now that is not going to come in the next 3 or 5 days. You don't want a package to sit down in front of your door. Somebody can steal it. If you have something that is delicate, it may be damaged. If it rains, it's going to get wet. Now, that Amazon had that service now that they can open your garage and put it in. If you're okay with that option, that's fine. But honestly, I would not order anything that is not going to come in the next couple of days. I don't want a package to arrive in my door if I'm not even home. So that's something else that I personally give you advice for that. Also, in that same note, if you trust your neighbors, let them know that you're going to be out. Because if something happens around your house, they can check your house, they can keep an eye, or maybe a good friend of yours can come around and check, doesn't see any windows that have been broken by any chance. They can check your house around. What are your plans? It can be a family member, it can be a friend. It's very important. Make sure maybe they're not going to be in town. So if you check with them, you know they're going to be in town, and if they can come and check your house while you are out. Next, something that I personally don't do. I like to put on Facebook and Instagram that I'm going on vacation, but I don't put when I'm going on vacation. That's a real flag for any burglars to come to your house. People have come and find their houses burglarized, stolen, destroyed, windows broken, because they put exactly day by day, oh, I'm going to be out from this day to this date. Don't tell it on social media when you're going to be out. I don't. I post pictures after I come back and I tell everybody how great trip I had. And yes, you can still send a video, a photo to your personal friend directly, a family member directly, so they know you're doing good, you're having a great time. But I personally don't post it before. People step by step. Oh, I'm in Arizona today. I'm in this. Maybe the friends you have on Facebook will not do that and come to your house. But a friend of a friend, a cousin of a friend, somebody else noticed that posting on Facebook. So, that house is empty. I want to go and swing by and see what I can do. What if somebody that's homeless coming? I don't know. Hopefully not. But somebody comes and just breaks your windows and come and live in your house while you're out. Enjoys whatever food you left in your fridge. So anything can happen like that. That's why I really don't post things, online. The next thing is, if you have an alarm company, I would, by that end, definitely notify my alarm company that I'm going to be out. Because if there's an alarm going on, they know that nobody's home. So maybe something happened. Maybe somebody tried to get in. Sometimes they're just even lightning that triggers that alarm. But at least they know that you're not home and that something may happen, and they may text you, try to call you. Of course, you cannot answer the phone because you're on board the ship. So tell them as well that you're going to be out. So if something happens, they do have a note there and they may come here to your house. The next thing is that if you have, in this sense, if you have keys under your mat, around your house, in a pot, something like that, don't leave them out when you're on vacation at all. Somebody can know that you have it under the mat and comes and open your door. This is the time to do that. Another thing that is very important, and all these tips I got it from ADT, make sure all your windows and doors are closed at the day that you leave. But now that is 14 days before, make sure there are no objects all around the perimeter of your house that anyone can use to break your window. That's very important. I didn't think about that. A rock, a piece of metal, a tool that you left in your yard. No, don't leave any of that around. Try to put them inside your garage in a safe place, and avoid this painful situation. Number 13, if you have a security deposit box, safety deposit box in the bank, you can also use that before the day that you go on vacation. Not really now 14 days before, but take your personal stuff there if you want to. Let's say your laptop, your iPad, some other things that are valuable, valuable watch, something like that, and leave it in the secure safety deposit box in your bank the day before. That way you know they're safe, and if something happens in your house, I don't know, a storm comes by, especially when it comes to hurricane season, something happened, and it broke your windows, whatever, some damage happens, and you don't want that to be damaged. And with the same thing, one of the tips that I can give you about the safe things on your house is unplug all those things that are necessary, that you're not going to be used to because you're not here, you're not in your property. Disconnect that coffee maker that you always have programmed. Disconnect the humidifier that you have in your room. All the lamps that you're not going to be using. At the same time, we personally use a radio that we program with those little programmers that you put in your, in your socket, and you put it and you program that, and it turns your light at the times that you like. We program that so the lights can turn on at a certain time in the afternoon until 10 p.m. And we also have a radio that turns in the morning loud, so anybody can listen from outside, and it has the impression that somebody's still home, even though nobody is at home. That also deters people or a possible burglar, sorry for my accent, but to come to your home and steal your valuables and break into your house. and then you will come to your house and unfortunately find that somebody broke. Now you have to fix the window, doors, whatever, and then you lost your, your valuables. They're so important for you. So that's one thing that we do to make people believe. But if you don't have that radio, this is the time to buy it. A regular simple radio, AM, FM, and you just plug it in in that wall socket, program it, and it's going to be turning on. We always test it the day before, and then it turns on the morning that we already gone to a trip, and it turns every morning, every afternoon. The lights turn on, and people really think that we are at home and we are not. So you can do that. That was number 14. Unplug unnecessary stuff. If you live in places like Florida where lightning can happen anytime, it would be a good thing that you unplug those stuff. That way, none of your electrical things may be ruined. Yeah, you're not going to unplug your fridge, your stove, your microwave. Things are already electric and they're programmed, they have their date and everything there, you want to see it. You don't do that. Another tip, your heater. Make sure you adjust your heater the day before. The heater, your air conditioner, you don't put it in a temperature, not extremely that you have, how's it going to be super hot, no. But, the temperature that is going to be tolerable, but not, you're not going to spend a lot of electricity on it. And the heater, you can turn it off and turn it back on when you come back. You can do that. That way you can save some electricity there as well. The next thing that I may advise you to do really is do anything right now that really is going to save you any pains during your trip. Like I said, all these tips are great. If you have more to add, please add them on the comments. I love to learn some new stuff from everyone. I hope you find this video informative, and I hope to see you soon in a cruise with me. But make sure that you now have all this set up. That way, your trip is approaching, you're super excited. You're going to be totally relaxed because you already done everything that you needed to do. You have purchased everything that you need, and it's going to be a stress-free cruise, a stress-free vacation that you're going to enjoy with your family, your friends, your relatives. So if you like this video, please thumbs up. Please, register to my channel. I do post a lot of Spanish content because I like to reach the Hispanic, community. But I also will continue posting also in English. I know there's a lot of companies, a lot of bloggers you can, reach out and watch. I appreciate if you spend your time watching mine. So again, this is Maria. I am the Cruise Experts. I can be reached at www.thecruisexp.com. That's DCRUISEXP.com. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram. You can find me on Facebook as well, and here on your channel and YouTube. Have a happy cruise, have a happy vacation, and a great trip. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.